tip.
Good afternoon. It is September 2nd, 2025. You're listening to a little column A, little column B, hosted by Will Leanos and co-hosted by Zach Bishop. How are you doing today, buddy?
What is going on, Will? We are past week one in college. Get week 0 out of the way, week 1 out of the way. There was a lot of, first week jitters going on. I don't know how you're going to handle this because you're going into NFL. It's going to be your first week 1. I'm always going to end up week 2 here. But it's just awesome having a full college slate. You just sit there all Saturday. It's Labor Day weekend. They got the special games, a little bit of Thursday, Friday. We've already got upsets. We already have, coaches meltdown. And it's so awesome watching college because you get just different little amateur type stuff that you don't get in the NFL where, they got some guy that's a punter and it's like, all right, cool, punter, whatever. And it's like, yeah, he is from Australia and this is his first football game he's ever played in. It's like, you just start at D1. Like in America, most of us start at least like Pop 1 or something, but no, 18 years old, 19 years old. Like, yeah, let's try your first game and you're going to have guys trying to kill you as you're trying to punt this ball.
Does he even know how big of a deal it is? I feel like it's a big deal, but he doesn't.
I mean, there's people there, right? That has to give you something that, hey, there's thousands of people in this stadium.
Yeah, he's probably just worried about being on the team and just getting the job right. He's not worried about the thousands of people. It's too much to worry about. You have 1,000 things to worry about. You're not worried about them. It's too much. All right, we might as well talk about college football while we're on the topic of it. I see Belichick seems to be the common target, I'd say, of media at the moment right now after a impressive debut drive and then a very not impressive finale of this game. I mean, they got trashed. What else am I going to say about this? They got beat. They got beat bad.
I would say everyone is having a lot of fun with this one, and the internet being undefeated. I think it's not quite a 3-way tie because I think 2 of these are ahead of the other one, but it's Belichick's debut going terribly. It's Arch Manning not looking good for Texas on Saturday, and Kalen DeBoer, the new Alabama coach, which I mean everyone had to know coming in. This is going to be tough to fill these Saban shoes, but it's something like Saban in his whole career had 4 losses to unranked teams, and now it's only the second season, and this guy's already lost to 4 unranked teams. They lose their first game of the season to FSU, and just a lot of jokes getting thrown about.
It's week 1. I think we put so much faith into these week 1 rankings and walk away from it as if this is stone truth, and it's just not. These week 1 are estimates. I think if anything we're walking away from on this week 1 is that Arch Manning faced a pretty good defense, maybe the best defense of the weekend. I'd like to see every other quarterback try to go up against them and see if they look the same way. I mean, we're acting as if there's like a miraculous code to this that they could have fixed or prepared for. It's week 1. We don't know anything about anyone. I think it's all sort of adding up, and these results will hopefully make us a little bit more knowledgeable on the next week prediction. But coming into this, I don't think there's anything drastic to worry about. Like, you think Alabama should be worried? Like, you think Arch Manning should be worried? Like, his career after 1 game, Belichick should be worried. You know how many losses we all have in our lives? Belichick's 0-1. He's still ahead of all of us. I'm not going to fall for it. Is there any actual college news, though? It seems like those are the ones that everyone's passing around right now, but there was real football being played and not just off-the-field stuff being talked about. What was the real football stuff?
I really feel like those are, up at the top. Those were the upsets, as well as LSU went to Death Valley. They kind of had a Death Valley back and forth and was able to beat Clemson. Miami won at home versus Notre Dame. Those were another highly ranked matchup. That was a standalone game on Sunday. So it's happening. It's all happening. We got football going on, and I think that Arch he's gonna be okay. He did not look great, but lost by a touchdown to the defending national champions at their place, and it's a touchdown. He had a chance down the stretch, and he ties that up and sends it to overtime. We're looking at this totally different, and I think it's just going to take a little bit for him to kind of figure things out.
Oh, so there's a chance he'll still be good at football. We don't need to.
I think this takes him out of the Heisman for this year.
Really? All right.
Yep.
You don't want to watch any other quarterback, maybe another Heisman candidate go against this defense and see how they do before we just start backing away from Arch? Like, he looked that bad? I didn't watch the game. I've seen the highlights. I've heard everyone talk about it, but I I don't know who looks spectacular in a college football game. I think they all look kind of bad, and that this guy lost to a really good team, and we're walking away like this guy's, shouldn't be playing next week. That's crazy.
No, well, there's a difference between he's going to get benched versus he's not going to win the Heisman. I mean, Heisman's up at the tippity top here, but maybe I am a little bit of a prisoner of the moment, and it will help when you're not playing at Ohio State and you're playing a couple of cupcakes, and you can really pad those stats. But I think that if he is close with somebody else, this is going to be a game that they're going to go back to and look and say, hey, well, look at him when he played a real opponent here.
Well, maybe the rest of the team will get a little bit more comfortable and a little bit better as well. Then that'll help from weeks on after this. That's everyone's first week. All right, what's going on with Lee Corso and Dave Portnoy here? What was the... Yeah, I have both these names down with two stories I'm really not even familiar with. How did they manage to make it into the podcast?
So... Actually, it's two very different stories. But I'll start with the Lee Corso one. That one is more of the feel-good story. So Lee is the one that on College Game Day, he's the one at the very end of the show. I mean, he's on the whole show, but makes picks with everybody else. But he's the one that puts the mascot, I guess not a helmet, but like puts the head on. So like makes the pick. He's been doing it for years. I would say he's the equivalent to like maybe Dick Vitale or like Bill Walton was of. This is just a guy where those guys are college basketball. Like this guy just like loves college football, has been around it forever, announced his retirement this offseason. So this game was his last game. He picked Ohio State. Ohio State wins. He had picked Ohio State like 30 years ago. I think it was like the first time he did it. So it was like a full circle moment, as well as the whole crew makes 6 picks. He was the only one to pick FSU. He went 6 for 6.
Wow.
Amazing way to kind of finish your career. I mean, he's getting up there in age to just kind of be able to go out that way, but a well-liked person.
You think anyone else goes 6 for 6 the rest of the year?
I'd say yes, but I think it's not like a guarantee. And other time, like there are weeks where it's easier than others. Where this one, it's he picks multiple upsets. So, it's a lot easier when, it's a whole bunch of cupcakes and maybe one is just kind of slightly favored, but you can just pick all favorites and you're probably going to go 6 for 6.
All right. Well, that's a fun story. I assume there's a lot of people on that panel, if I remember correctly. So him retiring, and I doubt they're replacing him. I just think that's making more room for others, I imagine. Or do they actually cast one more person on there?
I don't think there's like a specific person like, hey, this guy is coming in, but they'll fill it in, and this will be an opportunity for other people. But he's been doing it for a long time, and it's almost like the John Wall retirement last week, where he's been doing it for a long time. He did it well enough that I think it deserves a mention.
All right, and the Portnoy story. I know he was doing the noon talk on Fox now, right?
Yes, so he wasn't supposed to be on necessarily every broadcast, but he was going to pick on some of the bigger ones. And obviously the first game, basically of the season, of the Saturday noon, and you have number 3 Ohio State hosting Texas. So, all right, we're starting off with, you can't get ranked much higher than that. And now where it's a he said, she said sort of deal. Dave, obviously a well-known Michigan fan. So news came out, I believe it was on Friday, saying Ohio State banned Dave from being on campus where the broadcast was going to be. So he kind of comes out, and then I'm hearing from some of the Barstool people that said, yeah, we were supposed to be there, but they said we weren't invited. Then Ohio State comes out and says, oh no, we didn't ban him. So I don't know exactly what's the truth and what's not, because I could easily see Barstool looking to get some clicks by any means necessary, but I can also see Ohio State going, we don't want this guy on our campus. And then once you think you can kind of do this quietly, and then it comes out, well, now you look really soft, not allowing other teams' fans to do their job. So he was not on campus, but I think in the grand scheme of things, I think this is good for college football. The rivalries. Now Michigan can give Ohio State a hard time. Ohio State can say, oh, no, it wasn't us at all. And it's just, these little rivalries, I think, is what really makes, college at times more interesting than the pros.
Which truth do you believe? You believe Portnoy or Ohio State?
I believe the Barstool guys.
Yeah, I bet that Ohio State did not want him there. If they could have...
I think they tried to do it. I think they tried to do it quietly, and it became a much bigger story than they expected.
If anything, isn't that more saying, yeah, no, that looks so soft, especially since they won, and they won such a commanding fashion now. It's it is fear that you almost felt like he was going to come, rub it in your face if you lost, which he would have. But
that's the whole thing, guys. This is football. Like, I get it's a big deal, but like in the grand, it's not that big of a deal. Like, let other people's fans, do their job, show up, and that way, when you win like this, you can rub it in their face a little bit. The same way TCU was rubbing it in UNC's face, where it's like, oh, you guys have a whole Hulu documentary. Like, when's that first episode coming out? Because we're very interested in seeing it.
Oh, man, I don't even want to talk. You think that's a wrap with the UNC thing? Like, is it purely talent? I know everyone's going to go on Belichick for this, but that team just didn't look like they were supposed to compete with the other team. And I've seen that happen. We've seen this with other schools, but is it some sort of Belichick normal thing? By week 8, we just like, oh, look at the turnaround. You won't believe it. Like, we were playing the wrong guys and everyone's learning and they're all buying in. And
you can make changes faster in college than you used to be able to with the transfer portal. So they were able to get some guys that you guys in. I'm wondering, this was a standalone Monday night game. Everybody saw it. Everybody, clowned on it. And as a recruit, are you looking at it going, man, typical UNC, not a football school. Like, what were they doing? Why is Belichick even there? Or are you looking at it going, well, you look at all the famous people there. Michael Jordan's there, LT's there. Like, there was some star power that you're normally seeing. The tickets prices were crazy. You're not normally having UNC football on like a standalone premier sort of game. So I think that Belichick still has time. I think that the expectations that he was gonna, be part of a national championship in his first year at UNC, that's crazy. This isn't a football school.
It would seem if it was that easy, people would be doing this more often. Don't you think? Like, someone other than UNC would have been like, hey, Belichick, we just fix it. Like, any big school. Or even if you were a big school, not a big football school, like even if you were like UCLA, like we can put the money together for Belichick, but we won't do it for anyone else. Like, it's not that easy, right?
I totally agree. No, you're exactly right. And he's not the youngest guy. And he's also, this isn't Nick Saban, who, was in college, maybe dabbled with the NFL for a little bit. I mean, Belichick's he's been at the pro level his whole career. And I'm sure that some stuff, transfers over, but it's not exactly a 1-for-1. So I think that the offseason hype was just crazy to begin with.
Hey, 2 Jordans on the sideline. What more could you ask for?
True.
Is it NFL time? Can we do it? Are you ready?
I am very ready. I am halfway through my fantasy drafts. That's a question for you. Are we doing fantasy drafts right?
I don't know.
Can we improve on this process?
The problem is we're in too many leagues. So to improve on the process is not the problem. The problem is we're in too many. And the process is not great because you're in too many. If you're in less, I think it's all right. But what are your issues? What are you not enjoying about the drafts?
It just seems like there hasn't been any major upgrades in a while. Like, you go into the ESPN draft room. I mean, I'm sure it looks different than it did 3 years ago, but for all intents and purposes, it looks basically the same. It's got like the same sound to it. And maybe all right, we're just going on tradition, but it just seems like we could spruce it up somehow.
I agree with that. I also agree that the age gap of using this, if you change anything, they suddenly don't know how to use it at all. And that's just less people using it. So yeah, you could probably enhance more features and you will use them more, but you're just going to lose. You're going to lose people, man.
And I guess I don't even have like a specific, like, you should change this and this will make it better. It just seems like it's maybe just gotten a little bit stale in one of the dynasty leagues that I joined this year. It's the first year of it. Doing a slow draft. Have you ever done a slow draft?
No, that sounds terrible. Every draft is slow to me. I want 10-second shot clocks.
This is why I like the slow draft even better. So it's not expected, hey, we're drafting tonight and in 2 hours we're going to be done. We're starting this draft today and this is going to go like a week and a half. You get like 8 hours to make a pick if you really want to. So the idea being, you just wait, and when it's comfortable for you, all right, you can take a look. But I think I might like that format even better, where you're not rushed. Maybe this is the age gap you're talking about, but just seems like it's getting more and more difficult to schedule everybody to be on the same time. We all know right around Labor Day is when we all are looking to do drafts, and all of a sudden it seems like people are surprised.
It does seem like, oh, football starting? It's like, yes, we need to do this before football starts. But, the one thing I will say is you do it a week ago is things can change in a week. Injuries can happen. Trades can happen. And you have already started your process a week ago.
I suppose everyone's dealing with the same information, at the time. So, could go in your favor, could go against you. And maybe this is just more of a me issue where, doing commissioning, a couple of leagues, and I was just a little. I wasn't thrilled at how many people in the work league asked me today, "Hey, when's the draft?" The draft is today. The draft is today at 8:00, and it's very prominently in the app, as well as it sends you a reminder. Like 24 hours ago, and it sends it out when I made the date and time, which was I don't know, only like a week and a half ago. Just sometimes it feels like you're corralling cats here or something.
I think it's an after work thing too, where you just have to organize everybody after work at night at some time, and I think that's impossible. I don't think that's it, like you're pushed around in your work hours enough. The after hours are just everyone has got enough stuff going on. And
I've been very jealous. I haven't been able to to pull it off with how my situation is, but I've definitely heard of a couple of people who have work leagues where they draft like right after work, like before anybody goes home. And that just seems. I've only done a couple of in-person drafts, and those are by far the most fun. But again, it's hard enough to get people virtually in the same room. So to get people all in the same room is difficult. But we can move on from fantasy. We can get to our actual picks here.
I don't know. I wasn't sure if you were going to appreciate the work league that you're drafting after that where the work ends at like 10 o'clock and the draft starts then. That's after work for some. It's a different life for everybody. Speaking of different life, this Thursday opening night game is the Dallas Cowboys at the Philadelphia Eagles, and it is a different life as a Cowboys fan. I am not a Cowboys fan, but maybe you are, and you no longer have Micah Parsons. Jerry Jones has solved that problem. Zach, was this a problem that needed solving? Or there was no working this out? I mean, this deal's over. He's going to Green Bay. They're going to face him in a couple of weeks. The money is already locked in. Green Bay feels like they only gave away 2 first-round draft picks, and that was a huge steal for them. Who's the winner of all this, and is it just really Jerry Jones losing everything?
It sure seems that way. Just another hit for the people of Dallas. Luka trade, which makes no sense. And then this trade, which this one made a little bit more sense on. There was supposed to be, like, they're trying to negotiate back and forth. It was very public. It kind of, we talked about it saying, I think this is going to work itself out. Is this just like a publicity sort of play? But no, he is gone. And there's got to be a huge overlap of, Dallas fans that have lost both of these just generational superstars in back-to-back seasons. And I think a lot of people are I think they're going to quit on sports.
I thought they were going to work this out because I thought Parsons was young enough to justify all of the money. There are other players, defensive players in the league that maybe of his caliber that just aren't at his age. And at some point, based on the career that he's had, you are going to have to give him this money. Like, is it that he didn't think he was worth the money? If he didn't think the money was like he was going to get hurt, he was going to go wrong, he might be already a little banged up right now. I can't understand why they would rather take the draft pick, save the money, and hope that they draft another Micah Parsons.
That's on top of this. It's 2 first-round picks to the Packers, so it's in conference. So, like you said, you're gonna have to play against him this year. We were just discussing, a couple of weeks ago, NFC North, and the over/under on that was 9.5. So this isn't I mean, any team can always blow up, and maybe all of a sudden you get the the equivalent of Cooper Flag. But it seems difficult to pull that off again because there's no lottery. It's just whoever is the worst team. But most likely this is going to be later, in the round. So, and then on top of it, it's just similar to the Nico quotes after Luka of, oh well, now we have 2 first-round picks, so now we could try to get somebody, at Micah Parsons or, even better. Well, good luck with that. Like that, I guess it's possible. I guess it's technically possible, but it is not very likely.
Well, that happened before all of this game. there will still be a game on Thursday. I had low expectations for the Cowboys with Parsons, and I even expected them to be given the money and that this would be solved by Thursday. And yeah, they would cost him a lot, and I'm sure Jerry would feel a certain way for him. And maybe they would tell him he couldn't do the podcast anymore. But it was supposed to work out.
Did it seem like it got personal?
I don't know why. It did, but it seemed like it got personal over so silly, dumb things that anybody of this success can't be upset over name calling, like mistake name calling, I'd say even. Like that's not offensive enough to get to where we're at right now. Now, I'm sure there's stuff we don't know.
I mean, Jerry Jones has been doing this for a long time, and so I don't know if that is good or bad in this situation, but it seemed kind of odd, like calling him Michael instead of Micah, and it's like, is this on purpose, or are you just mispronouncing his name like by accident? As well as mentioning, oh, well, you know, when I bought the Cowboys, it was just a handshake deal and it was done. I didn't need to deal with agents. It's like, well, no, like that's not how this works. You just don't go talk to the players and make a deal. Like that's what the agents are there for. That's why they're collecting their 10%. It seems pretty standard.
There's a lot of things we used to do when Jerry Jones bought the team that we don't do anymore as a society. Like it's a different life. Like, yes, do you wish you could be that way? You could tell that as many times as you want. But the reality is we live in this league, in this world, and it operates like that. The idea that he's going to buy his way out and force his way to, make things old again, like handshakes and all that. This isn't a solution. Like this is sinking this team. I think they have no chance on Thursday. I didn't even write any reasons why. I just wrote what's not to like about the Eagles. What's not to like about Philly after everything we just talked about Dallas?
The only thing I could possibly think of is just some sort of a switcheroo situation where everyone is just against them. But I am going right into this. I can let you know right now. I have the Eagles. I have it as the lock of the week. And that is my bet for this week is Eagles minus 8.5.
I didn't want to bet on it. As the first game, as you said, anything could happen, but I would be very shocked if Philly did not win this game. So I think that's a very good bet. I wrote down a bunch of bets this week. I would say I'm just going to give you bets that I found. All right. I think Lamb anytime touchdown plus 145. They're not going to win, but you're telling me he's not going to get anything? Like I think even at the end he might get one garbage time thing, and that's one, and that's plus money. I think that's a fair amount here. There's probably lots of Philly stuff you could, some parlay stuff if you think this is really going to get ugly here. But so we're both got Philly. Too bad Dallas. I don't feel bad for them. All right, next game Friday in Brazil on YouTube. Yes, on YouTube. It's not a channel. Don't be looking for it. It's not a channel. It's on YouTube. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Los Angeles Chargers. Do you think they will have more fans in Brazil for the Chargers than they will in LA?
They can't have less, right?
I think that this will be more of a home game for them than playing at home, which is a really sad situation, but it's not going to help Kansas City. Or maybe Kansas City just being in Super Bowls, the international teams have just seen them maybe. Is that my
Mahomes is by far, I mean, Mahomes and Kelsey are more famous than anybody else on the Chargers.
All right, so maybe this isn't a home game. Maybe there won't be more home teams for the Chargers here. I think the Kansas City Chiefs over the last couple of years have been very good, and I remember them being very good in most of these seasons, but I don't remember them starting off very good, Zach. Should I fall for it? I'm not going to fall for it. I got them losing. I think they're going to lose week one. I can't really tell you why other than I think they're going to get into a slow start, and Harbaugh eventually wins, and this Charger team is not terrible. It may not be great, but I don't know. I think they can hang with this team, especially in Brazil. It's not really a home game. I don't know. What am I missing about the Kansas City Chiefs? Am I just not overseeing that Mahomes is going to be back and that's going to be terrifying to play him again?
I think that this is going to be a close game, and I got Mahomes in a close game.
All right, another little minor bet here. I had Khalil Mack over 0.25. That's quarter sacks. I think he can at least hit Mahomes, basically. Just got to do it once. Oh, man, I didn't write the plus money on that yet. That was plus money for something. I want to say 145 also. All right, so you got Kansas City. I got the Chargers. Already first disagreement of the week here. Next game, Sunday, Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Atlanta Falcons. I think we're going to see big buckets from Baker. I think you're going to see big plays and that this is going to be a shootout of which Penix is going to lose to Baker. So I got Tampa Bay at home or not on the road. Who you got in this one?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Baker. Baker on the road. Just a little bit more, well, I guess not a little more. He's got the veteran angle going for him, and I think that Penix, it's gonna take him a little while to figure out if he's got anything or not.
Next game, Cincinnati Bengals at the Cleveland Browns. Are we sure Cincinnati's healthy? Maybe this is the healthiest they'll ever be. Are we sure they're not going to get off to a slow start? It feels like every year, how is this going to happen again? What's going to go differently? And yet it's always a slow start. Is this the only difference is that they get to face Cleveland in week one?
That's what it was for me.
Is it? I don't think it's enough.
I looked at it and I said, uh-oh. Like, what happened to them last year in the early games? It's like, oh, yeah, I remember that. Lost to the Patriots. Still baffles me. But looking at it, it's like the Browns just nothing has gone right for them. I mean, a lot of it their own fault. But I think if there's been a lot of other teams, like say if it's the Cardinals here, where I'm normally try to protect everybody, stay away from the Cardinals. But this one would have been like, I don't know. But it's like, but the Browns, even at home, they're just. I gotta go with Burrow. I gotta figure it out.
You're right. You're right. But what if we just a little thought process here? Bad quarterbacks against bad defenses is the only chance they got. All right. So like if the Browns are going to win a game this year, they're not going to lose all of them. If he's going to win a game, it's going to be against a bad defense. I think this is going to be a shootout. I think you're going to see Flacco just light up week one, and then he'll look like a complete disaster against any above average defense the next couple of weeks. But this one, week one, based on my pattern of the Cincinnati slow start, what's going to change? Like, I could still see Cincinnati putting up points here, but I could see them giving up just as much to Flacco and it just being an anomaly of just this week one. I'm going to pick Cleveland to win. I don't have enough guts to say this should be a bet of the week, but I would pick Cleveland to lead after the first quarter. That's plus 138. And like this defense isn't good in Cincinnati. It's like the offense could be spectacular. Maybe they just blow this team out. I got a 3-way parlay for Cincinnati. That's Cincinnati winning, Chase Brown anytime TD, and Jamar Chase anytime touchdown, plus 275. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to lose the game.
If the Bengals lose to Joe Flacco and the Browns, especially after what happened last year, it is going to be whatever like the most alarms on a fire is. Like that's going to be.
I don't know. What if Chase Brown's got a couple, Jamar's got a couple touchdowns, and Burrow goes for 400 yards, and they just lose? We're just going to say, oh, they were right there.
If you can't slow down Joe Flacco in 2025, like it's going to be huge. It's going to be a huge deal. Like whatever, like that big red panic button, like you gotta be smashing that.
All right. Well, I think they're going to hit the panic button because just like every other season, they're going to come out slow. All right. Next game. Sunday, Miami Dolphins at the Indianapolis Colts. This is another one where, I don't know, is it a bad quarterback got a chance against a bad defense? Or can I at least see what Miami's going to look like? Do these guys even like each other enough to play together on this Sunday? Or are they going to be a complete mess? I don't have high hopes for the Indianapolis Colts, but I think there's real danger in any expectations in the Dolphins. I'm going to take the Colts just because they're at home. Might be a trap.
That's exactly what I wrote down. Colts because they're at home. I don't think either of these teams is very good, so you get that home, just that little nudge. If this was in Miami, I'd be going with the Dolphins.
I think one play by Hill, Waddle, or Achane, or even Tua, and then they'll win this game. But until I see that play, or at least that consistent play by that team, I can't trust them. I'd rather just to go with the home team than trust them. I don't think I trust them to win on the road at all. Next game, Las Vegas Raiders at the New England Patriots. Potentially two well-coached teams here, Zach. How do we feel about that?
I feel a lot better than I did last year. Last couple of years have been a little bit rough. So, yeah, I'm going with the Patriots. I think I might pick Patriots just, almost towards the, right after the Brady era where I was just blindly just going like, nope, Patriots, don't care. I don't know. We'll have to see. I might have to start doing that again.
It's going to be the beginning era of Geno and Pete, as well as Genty. I think we're going to have a really good time playing Genty. I think we're going to shut him down. I think this is going to be a Patriots game. We're going to let Drake cook a little bit, and we're going to win. This is going to be a good game, though. I think if you're going to watch any games this week, this will be good. It may not have the big plays or anything, but I think this is going to be
How many yards is Genty going to have?
Oh, I would have taken the under. I think they was at like 69 yards. I think he's going to be under. So I don't think less than 70 yards.
Okay.
Maybe even less. I think we can really focus on him and see. And Geno might throw the ball too. Everyone's eyeing Genty as if he's going to get all this. Geno threw the ball a ton last year. Next game, Arizona Cardinals at the New Orleans Saints. I mean, if they lose to the Saints, I'm with you. Like, I'm just going to I'm going to go back. Like, if the Cardinals blow this to the Saints, everything I'll take back. Any expectations about Arizona, I will follow your rules the rest of the year. I don't trust this team. But if you're New Orleans, the only good news is you're playing Arizona.
But I'm trusting them. I'm trusting them this week.
You have to. How could you not?
It's the Saints. It's the Saints. They're starting that cowboy from that Western.
It just doesn't make sense. We're going to get these wrong. I don't expect to go perfect, but we should get that one right. Right? Like we should. That one should be good. With New Orleans winning this week.
And historically, the Cardinals have been better at the beginning of the year and have kind of tailed off towards the end. But this is not really looking into that so much as it's the Saints. But it won't be too far away, especially if they lose to the Saints, that I just will have to like reverse what I was just talking about the Patriots. Of who are the Cardinals playing? Well, that team's winning this week.
Yeah, no, if they lose to the Saints, I will pick against them the rest of the year. I will pick against Arizona every week from here on if they lose to the Saints. Which is probably what I should be doing, and you should be doing as well. You're not even following your own advice here. All right, next game, Pittsburgh Steelers at the New York Jets. The Rodgers debut, or the Fields payback, Zach.
Oh man, head to head,
going right back at it.
Showdown. Clear your calendar for this one. I am going to go with the Steelers in a close one, and it'll probably drive the Jets fans crazy as like they're going to win or going to be winning for like most of the day, and then all of a sudden, like 4 minutes to go, it's just a collapse, and all of a sudden it's like, how did the Steelers win that game? Like they only had 100 yards in the first half. Like how?
I think this is a game exactly as you just described, where the Pittsburgh defense is just good enough to inch this away, and we will walk away from this game being like, I think Fields outplayed Rodgers by a lot and somehow still lost. Like he'll run for 100 yards and probably score a touchdown, and they'll still lose this game because the Pittsburgh defense is legit enough, and they'll let him scramble and he'll make a mistake and they'll take advantage of it. And if Rodgers just doesn't turn the ball over, I think this is a good enough for win. But I would not expect Rodgers to look good. I would take the unders on Metcalf. I think this is going to be a slow offense, like you said. What are we expecting out of the Jets?
Should be a gorgeous day in New York, though.
All right, next New York team, New York Giants at the Washington Commanders. Watch out for Russ, Zach. This is the neighbor's offense. We're airing it out. We're playing the deep ball. We got different expectations for Washington. We're all ready for them this year. We're not underestimating, and we're ready. I got the Giants. I think this is a big debut and a bad second-year return by Washington, where I'm not even sure that they got better than they were last year. And they're expecting Daniels to be significantly better. And I think he's going to get caught off guard this game. I think this Giants team is going to be better than they're expecting, and that they will be underestimated.
I'm just going to go ahead and take the layup here, and I'm going to go with the Commanders.
All right, take it. You can have it. You can have this next game, too, because I'm not watching it.
Does Russ finish this game, or does one of the backups come in?
No, Russ cooks this game. Russ is going to have big yards. I think 300 yards. At least 2 touchdowns, maybe 3. Carolina Panthers at the Jacksonville Jaguars, the not watch of the week. New coach, same offense, same Jacksonville, same quarterback. And if you're Carolina, it's just like, sure, yeah, all right, maybe. Whatever. Yeah, okay. Who's supposed to win this game? Is this the first tie of the year?
Oh, I hope not. Week 1 tie, that'd be the worst.
This game already is the worst. There's nothing that could be worse about this. I'll take Carolina because I just don't like Jacksonville, even though everything on paper says they should be better. But I'll take Carolina because I don't see it. I don't believe it. I don't think he could fix it. Until that coach goes out there and starts throwing the ball, they can't change it. I think Lawrence is just holding them back. And this will be the one where and Bryce is going to look better than Lawrence. And you're going to be like, what are we doing in Jacksonville? What are we doing?
I'm going to take Jacksonville at home.
That's a good reason. Sunday, 4 p.m. You got more on that?
No, keep moving.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Sunday, 4 p.m. Tennessee Titans at the Denver Broncos. Tennessee wants to know when the draft is, and the Broncos play defense, so I'll take the Broncos. And anything to add?
Yeah, I'm excited to see Bo Nix after another full off season. Hearing a lot of good things, and it'd be cool if we get some more legit quarterbacks every week.
It would be easier to watch. All right, next game, San Francisco 49ers at the Seattle Seahawks. The healthiest the Niners are going to be, right? Week 1. Here we go. McCaffrey's ready. I think the Seahawks are a little sneaky of a team, but I'm not sure if they're worse than last year or better. They're just a weird team. On paper, the Niners, even with everything that's happened and everything that's gone wrong, they should still be the better team. I think they'll be the better team this Sunday, but there's a chance that I keep forcing this and it's just not happening, and that it might be over. Is it over, Zach?
I am going to go with the Niners, but I will admit to you that I do not have any Christian McCaffrey stock at this point, and I think tonight is my last chance based on where I'm drafting tomorrow in the cozy league against each other.
Is that because you weren't in position to draft him, or you chose not to draft him?
I have not been in position, but definitely when it was at least close yesterday. But then when he was taken, it was almost like a little bit of like relief on maybe this is a really bad idea, because if he gets hurt, because I've played this game before, and when he's playing, it's awesome. But when in week or last year, where it comes out right before the game, like actually he's not going to play, and then 6 weeks go by, it really makes the start of the fall like really difficult. So I got hit. I got hit in the head last year, and when you go to do that same move again, you kind of feel that hit in the head again, and there's a concern.
Well, we both got the Niners. I think this game will be tight, though. I don't think the Seattle's going to get blown out.
12th man will show up.
Next game, Detroit Lions at the Green Bay Packers. There might be a new sheriff in town, Zach. I'm not even sure Parsons is going to play this week. I'm hearing possible back shots or some sort of pain additions to treat him to play on Sunday. We just gave this guy a ton of money. Is there any possibility that maybe we just don't rush him out there?
I think he's ready to go. Let him play.
Let him play? All right. Well, is there a new sheriff in town then? Are they going to take over this division?
I think I think it's going to be close. I think they're going to win at home here.
Really? Because I think there's been a lot of Packer talk this offseason, as well as this Parsons deal is all sorts of attention. If I'm Detroit, I got bulletin board material all day. I think this is one where maybe Green Bay in the long run will be better off. But at the moment right now, I think Detroit's just a little bit farther ahead, and they're going to show that on week one. I'm not losing faith in the Packers, but I just think the Lions deserve a little bit of respect, and it's not all overnight for Green Bay.
This is almost like the reverse of the AFC South game that we just talked about with the Jags and the Panthers, where like whoever wins that one, it's a little bit of, all right, cool. Where this one, if whoever loses, it's not, oh, your season's over. It's all right, cool. You saw some stuff, but I'm still not going to turn my back on you.
All right, next game, Houston Texans at the Los Angeles Rams. I'm worried about the Texas running game. The Rams are at home and have just as many question marks. Devontae Adams, you seem to be sold on. I'm not as sold on, but I'm not really sold on this Texans offense or defense either. And I'll just take the Rams at home. There's tons of question marks with the Rams, and I feel better about the Texans, but it's fine. I'll take the Rams at home. I'm not sold on anything.
I'm going to go with the Rams as well. News came out that Stafford is going to play, so I think that's a step in the right direction, but it is something that I'm monitoring.
All right, Sunday night, Baltimore Ravens at the Buffalo Bills. I took the Ravens. I just wrote why not, and it's just going to be another battle. I don't think you could be faulted for picking Buffalo or Baltimore in this one. I got a nice 1,000+ parlay here, 4-way. You want to hear that one?
Sure.
Josh Allen, anytime touchdown. Derrick Henry, anytime touchdown. Lamar Jackson, anytime touchdown. James Cook, anytime touchdown. Plus 1,000.
It's a lot of scoring.
I think they were going to get that in this game. You don't think the history of this matchup explains that? I think all that can happen. That sounds like a Buffalo-Baltimore battle.
I think this is going to be a terrific game. Like we're looking at the Green Bay-Detroit game, where it's like that one's going to be good, and then this one is just going to be the absolute cherry on top of Week 1 football and where your fantasy team is, and just going into the night. It's not a whimper; it's going out with a bang here.
You got Baltimore?
No, I'm going with the Bills. I'm going with Josh Allen.
Yeah, all right. We're switching up on that one there, too. Next game, Minnesota Vikings at the Chicago Bears. I think Brian Flores can't wait to face Caleb Williams. I think that's the only thing. I mean, if you're the Bears, it's like, can we stop JJ and JJ? Maybe. If whoever has less turnovers, I think will win this game here. And if McCarthy is just reckless with it, they'll lose. But I think it's a little bit more predictable that the Bears are going to turn the ball over a little bit more often, and that Minnesota is going to be able to sneak out the win because of that. Who you got in this one?
Yep, I'm gonna go Vikings in a close one.
All right. That was Monday night too, right? That was the last game?
Jefferson's open down there somewhere. Makes it a lot easier for a young quarterback.
Monday night. Sorry, didn't type that one in. I had it under Sunday. Already getting my days mixed up here. Thursday, it all kicks off, Zach. How many drafts do you have until then?
2.5 left.
Well, man. I have all of mine left. I have 4. I have 1 tonight, and I have 3 tomorrow. 8 o'clock, 8:30, and 10 p.m.
Seems like this happens to you relatively often, that however it works with these leagues, that you're just talking about how I have 2.5 drafts at the same time. How am I going to pull this off? Does it get any easier have to do these drafts at the same time? Do you have a better system now, or is it still just absolute chaos and you leave like your head spinning?
I'd like to say that all of the leagues I'm in, guys have been playing for a while. So there really isn't I can't believe he took that pick. There isn't the guy dropping. Doesn't happen. I know we're all watching for it. We all know the same sleepers. So I wouldn't say I'm need to pay attention like a Hawkeye, waiting for that thing to take advantage of, waiting for the one person to make a mistake. Because more often than not, nobody makes the mistake. I think there's a lot of smart drafters. So it does auto draft almost all the time anyways. You're definitely going to have moments in the later rounds where I think you can make the difference. But I don't think it all matters as much. I think you just take the obvious pick more often than not, and you'll be fine. And we're overthinking everything. So I guess I'm more comfortable with that answer is really what I'm saying. But I also don't want it. I don't want to not be there. I want to make every one of my picks. So drafting in multiple drafts at the same time, my worry is that it does just auto draft me at one moment, and I'm scrambling from
you're looking at the other one, or you're doing a little research, and all of a sudden you're not realizing I'm on the clock.
Well, if anyone else is dealing with this, I will tell you the one thing you do need to worry about, and I'm lucky that most of my leagues, everybody shows up for it. But if you are like behind the person that's on auto draft, they don't take the whole minute. Like, it's just, boom, you're up next.
It's instant.
So you got to be ready, like 2-3 picks or however many auto drafters potentially could be ahead of you. Because if anything, when I'm doing multiples, that's what throws me off. Where it's like, I'm in 10 picks, I got plenty of time, and suddenly I'm in 2 picks, and it's my pick now. Boom, boom. Just done.
So it's like you have to have your main pick, a secondary pick, and an emergency pick, so you're ready to go.
Well, that would be smart. And if you could do that every round, that'd be great. Where I also run into the problem is I'm not in the same scoring system in these 3 leagues that I'm drafting at the same time tomorrow. So there is a slightly different ranking system where I will look at certain guys and be like, oh my God, how's he still available? And I will go back up and look in the league that it's in. It's like, oh, that's why. Okay, that's, you're not getting a deal. You're getting a deal in the other league.
Totally different. Yeah.
Completely. So that these are the challenges. But I mean, ultimately, I just need to be in less leagues. The problem is these leagues need people to exist. And I'm like the guy when you have 9, you're playing 5-on-5, and we need 1. You can't leave. We won't be able to play if you don't stay.
Yeah, you will ruin it for 9 other people. Do you want that on your conscience?
No, but then when like any of the 9 other people don't play or have a week where they're not setting lineups, it's like I want to be out too. Like you don't think
we all could have. We all could have.
But we made it. It's Thursday. We got our picks in. We'll have a lot more content next week. You want to go Monday or Tuesday next week? Do you like this Tuesday? There's a lot more bets available on Tuesday. A lot more bets. Monday's so far away.
I like the Monday because then it's right after Sunday. Snappy.
All right, for Zach's.
We can test it out.
For Zach, we will be back next Monday. I want to remind everyone to subscribe. We'll call him A, we'll call him B, and you can follow Zach on his X account, which is
Wicked Z-Man 24.
All right, I get to play the outro music here. I don't know if we had intro music. I think I screwed that up. This might be the first podcast where we're not going to have intro music. Should I add it?
You had intro music. You know what you're doing.
Zach, you were able to hear it, but I didn't turn it up.
It's not week 0 for you. It's week 1.
Just because you heard it doesn't mean it recorded it in the master thing. I'll explain it to you after, but there's a chance the listeners didn't have music. But they have outro music, and they got time to listen to Zach, so what do you got to tell them, Zach?
The last thing is, if you are interested in going head-to-head against us on our picks, LCA, LCB podcast on ESPN and the Pick'em League, and you can go against us.
Man. No bets this year. Just bragging rights. Think I'll be able to take advantage of
For
this?
all the marbles.
I'm probably going to be able to take advantage of just picking against the Patriots most weeks. I feel like you're too locked in. Is there a week you're not going to pick him?
I haven't decided yet, man. It's early. It's early. We'll see. We'll see how this Ashton Genty situation goes through.
Yeah. Well, you already mentioned you made some fantasy drafts. Is there any players you're high on that you're happy to have on your team? Any possible guys that are on multiple teams?
It seems like Nico Collins has been coming my way.
Nice. I think on the Simmons and House Bets podcast recently, they talked about Nico Collins possibly leading the league in receptions, being a very good bet. So that seems like a good draft. Not the end of the world.
Yeah, Nico and Drake.
Yeah. Have you got any update on that Tank Dell stuff? I know like everything went wrong, but I see him just being completely crossed off for this entire year. Is there any chance at all?
I haven't. I think
he hurt like 7 different things in one leg, so I'm sure it's going to be some time.
I wouldn't be looking for him.
Yeah, we'll see. But we'll be back hopefully next Monday with a Patriots 1-0 season. Can we start off like that? Are we allowed to do this?
Fingers crossed.
Oh man, remember the good old days? Remember the good old days.
Wins.
Little column A, little column B.